Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 437. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is how to triple your income in 2023. How to triple your income in 2023. Now, all entrepreneurs want to increase their income each year, and 2023 is no exception. So I know a lot of times, guys, we're bombarded with all kinds of magic formulas, new software, new social media platforms that we have to be on, and a whole bunch of BS. But on today's episode, I'm going to give you several practical ways to triple your income that don't rely on magic and BS, but on tried and true strategies and systems. I'm also going to give you the formula that I use every year when I plan for the following year. But before we get to today's episode, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my latest book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. 2 platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black community, BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com. They are actually under construction now. We're changing the platform again. We had some glitches. So if you go to either of those platforms, please leave your name and email address if you want to have your business or your service on the platform, and we'll alert you as soon as those 2 are ready to get back up. Also, guys, I just recently dropped Jay's Gems, which are short 3 to 10 minute podcast and video podcasts on the YouTube channel that I'm going to come out with periodically based on Black entrepreneurship, Black economic empowerment, and also topical subjects. So these don't warrant a full BEB episode, but I think there's certain things that are topical that we do need to discuss. Also, last but not least, guys, on today's show, I'm going to talk about how to triple your income in 2023, and I'm holding a mastermind group. This is going to be an accelerated mastermind. It's going to be 3 sessions. So if you want to learn more, go to 3xmastermind.com. The number 3, the letter X, mastermind.com, and it's going to be a great mastermind. So in order to be able to scale your business and to do better than you did in 2022, you're going to need to have planning, and also not just planning, but direction. So with the 3X Mastermind group, we're going to have 3 live mastermind sessions, and they're going to be interactive. So the first one starts Wednesday, November 30th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The following Wednesday, December 7th, 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And the following Wednesday after that, Wednesday, December 14th, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. So we're going to get 3 live mastermind sessions with a minimum of 5 people and a maximum of 10. So please make sure you're one of the first to sign up. Go to 3xmastermind.com. If you do miss a session, we have unlimited replays. And also, when you leave the mastermind group, guys, the biggest thing is you're going to get a customized 3X plan to follow. So each member is going to leave with their own customized action plan to follow to triple your revenues in 2023. I know it's the holiday season, but if you don't do anything and you continue as you are, guess what? After the holiday season, you're going to be at the same place. So this is a time where I usually double down in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I know a lot of people kind of slow down. That's actually the time I do most of my planning. And so the actual mastermind group is going to be formatted or following a little bit of what we're going to talk about today, how to triple your income in 2023. So make sure you go to 3xmastermind.com, be one of the first ones to enroll. And I'm looking forward to helping you elevate your entrepreneur IQ and get ready to knock it out the park in 2023. Also, I forgot to mention the investment is only $97 for all 3 sessions and a one-on-one with me after the session. So it's a no-brainer. The investment is only $97. Go to 3xmastermind.com. Now, let's get ready for today's show, how to triple your income in 2023. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, this is something that I do every year when I try to exponentially grow my business. Good thing is I have goals, I have aspirations, I have key performance indicators that I try to meet. The worst case scenario is, guess what? You don't 3x your business, maybe you 2x it or you double it. Okay, whatever it is, you always want to shoot for something higher. And the problem I see with a lot of entrepreneurs is they just go without a plan. There's no exact plan to get to the next level and scale your business. And that's what we're going to discuss today. So we're going to break this down into 3 separate parts. I'm going to give you 9 action steps or 9 things to do, but they're going to be broken down into 3 different sections. Now, before I forget, if you're in the car and you can't write anything down, if you're jogging, if you're working out or whatever, make sure you go to the website and get the show notes. Everything I'm going to talk about and all the links are going to be in today's show notes. So go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, go to the website, and on the bottom of every page on the website, it'll say newsletter or join us. And every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the newsletter comes out with great content, and it also has the show notes for the latest episodes. Go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com and enroll for the show notes. You can take the shortcut and go to bebconnect.com. It'll take you right to the website. So here are the 3 different phases we're going to break this information down into. Phase number 1, where is your business currently? Phase number 2, what are your new revenue and profitability goals for 2023? You see, I said revenue and profitability, and we'll get into that. And phase number 3, how do you triple those revenues? So here are the steps that we're going to follow. And these are actually the steps that I use every year when I look to elevate my business and take it to the next level. So if I'm starting a new business, or even if I have my current businesses, I always, my minimum goal, guys, is to triple my revenues. Now, do I get there all the time? No. Sometimes I surpass it, other times I don't. But you have to have a framework and a plan to be able to scale your business. It doesn't just happen. And I think a lot of us are walking around just doing business and not working on our business. So the first phase, where is your business currently? Step number 1, or tip number 1, know what your projected revenue is for 2022. Now, you think this is something simple, but if I ask you right now, what are your current year-to-date revenues? A lot of you won't be able to tell me that. So when you join the mastermind group, make sure you have this stuff ready, because this is something important and it's going to help you learn how to scale or triple your business, okay, or triple your revenues. So, well, we know what your projected revenue is for 2022. Obviously, we're not done with the year, but just, figure those numbers out based on your averages. So look at your year-to-date sales numbers, and then you project your final numbers for 2022 so you know your starting point. So you don't know your progress if you don't know your starting point, right? So you have to have a foundation of where you're starting from. That's step number 1. Step number 2, calculate your profitability for 2022. Now, how much profit did you make in 2022? Sales and revenues are great, guys, but if you aren't making profit, you're wasting your time. So, and here's another big thing, guys. When I talk to my coaching students, my coaching clients, I'll ask them about profitability, and many of them won't know that number. And I know a lot of times you don't have the time to figure things out, but you want to know how profitable you are. So if somebody says my business is generating $500,000 a year, but if it costs you $499,999.99, that means you have 1 cent in profit. Okay, so you need to calculate your profitability. So I use a software called QuickBooks. Now, QuickBooks helps you, it connects with your bank accounts, everything that you do, all your revenues coming in, your expenditures going out, and you set up a chart of accounts, and now you're able to do projections. You'll do profit and loss statements, all types of things. And now if you have a CPA or an accountant, which I hope you do if you're serious about your business, all you have to do is give them access to your QuickBooks account, and they'll be able to do your taxes like that. This is something, guys, that you really need to get a handle on, is calculating your profitability for 2022. Number 3, identify how you really make money. And I know this sounds super silly, right? But many companies don't understand how they make money, right? And I'm going to give you a real life example. So I have a coaching client that's an accountant, and he also specializes in tax negotiations with the IRS. So if you own a business and you owe the IRS money, he will negotiate with you with the IRS so you won't get locked up, or your accounts won't get garnished and all of that good stuff. Now, here's the crazy thing. After we sat down, he makes the majority of his money from his initial consultation fees when he does the negotiation. Okay, so when you have a problem, you'll come in, you'll pay him an initial consultation, you'll bring in your documents, and you'll sit and have that consultation one-on-one or on Zoom or whatever. And that is really where he's making his money. And he didn't realize that until we broke it down. And this is an accountant, guys. And so he calls himself a tax accountant / negotiator, but he really makes his money giving advice. The majority of his money, over 62 or 63% of his money, comes from the consultations, the revenues, right? Now, this is what his revenue model is. His revenue model is he charges $200 for each assessment. So when somebody comes in for a consultation, he charges $200 to review the documents and do the one-on-one meeting, either live or via Zoom. Now, his other revenue comes from getting a percentage of the tax savings when he negotiates with the IRS. I think he gets 30%. So for example, if you owe the IRS $20,000 and he's able to break it down to $10,000, then he gets 30% of the savings, which is $3,000. Sounds like it's a nice deal, right? Problem is, he's not converting these consultations into actual negotiations. And the third way that he makes money is he actually does tax preparation, and he charges about $350 per tax account that he files. And he deals with entrepreneurs. So if you have 3 businesses, it's $350 times 3. But really, when we sat down and looked at the numbers, guys, he makes the majority of his money from his one-on-one consultations. Even though he said he's an accountant, tax accountant, and a negotiator, the money comes from the consultations. So I know it sounds stupid, but identify how you really make money. So you have to sit down and you really have to break down your numbers, okay? So see, here's some of the things you have to think about. What products or services are most profitable to you? Okay, just because that actual product was his lowest price product, but that was the most profitable one to him. What product or service are the easiest to deliver? And you also have to think about what are the key drivers or activities that make you money? What is really making you money? A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we're sitting here doing busy work, right? I talked to my brother the other day. He's a psychologist. He has his own practice. And instead of farming out or hiring somebody to do his billing, he's in there all hours of the night and in the mornings doing his billing. Is that the highest activity that he could be doing to generate revenue? No. And what we're talking about today, guys, is how to triple your income in 2023. We're breaking it down into 3 parts. Part number 1 that we're talking about right now, where's your business currently? So tip number 1, know what your projected revenue is for 2022. Tip number 2, calculate your profitability for 2022. Tip number 3, identify how you really make money. That's part number one. So those are the first three things that you need to do. Part number two, what are your new revenue goals for 2023? Once again, you can't find out or create revenue goals for 2023 if you don't know what you're doing in 2022. So number four, identify what your revenue goals are for 2023. And I always try to triple my revenue from the previous years. And I said it before, if I don't triple it, at least I'm better off than not having a true goal. So if you do not have a goal for 2023 with your revenues and profitability, then you're already behind the eight ball. And I know, guys, a lot of times we're so caught up doing the business, working in the business, and we're not working on the business. Planning is essential for a productive business. I talked about this on a previous episode where once a month, and I usually do it once a week, but and I'll just use what I do. Once a week, I just think. I take half a day or a full day or whatever, and I'll think. And I know a lot of people, and man, I got to hustle. I don't have time for that. You do need time to think. So once again, identify what your revenue goals are for 2023. And once again, my goal each year for all of my businesses is to triple my business in whatever business that is. Number four, create benchmarks and KPIs, key performance indicators, to reach those goals. What are the benchmarks and KPIs that will help you reach your goals? Once again, if you don't have goals or benchmarks, you don't know how you're progressing, how you're making out, how you're doing, if you're ahead of schedule or behind schedule. So here's some questions you need to ask yourself. What is your new monthly revenue goal to triple your annual revenues? Okay, so if you're doing $1,000 a month, that means you got to do $3,000 a month. 2022, you did $1,000 a month in revenue, meaning you did $12,000 for the year. That's what you're projected to do. In order to triple that, you're going to need to do $3,000 a month, which is $36,000 for the year in 2023, and you're going to triple your revenue. And I'm just using that as a number. Okay. Another question is, what is your average revenue per customer? What is your average revenue per customer? How much does an average customer bring in for you each year? Okay. So if you're selling one off, right? So when I was in the mortgage business, if I did a mortgage for a family or a customer and I made $8,000, $10,000, $12,000, I'm probably not going to do a mortgage for them again next year, right? So you have to understand that based on your product and or services, what is your average revenue per customer? And you use this to break down how many customers you're going to need to triple your monthly revenues. Another question you want to ask yourself is, how many new clients will you need to accomplish this? So if, once again, in the mortgage business, I don't have people that are going to be doing mortgages every year. So it's normally every 4 to 5 years, or if something else happens. So I know I have to always have new customers coming in. Okay. I'm always going to need to have new customers. So I know if I'm averaging $7,000 a deal on my mortgage business and I need to triple my revenues, then I need to probably have 3 times more people, customers that I bring in each month. So these are some of the things that we have to focus on. Once again, I'm going to go over these again real quick, but we're talking about how to triple your income in 2023, and we're breaking it down into 3 parts. There are 9 things you have to do, but they're broken down in 3 different phases or 3 parts. Part number 1, where's your business currently? So step number 1, know what your projected revenue is for 2022. Step number 2, calculate your profitability for 2022. Step number 3, identify how you really make money. And those are the first 3. Now, in section number 2 or part number 2, I'm breaking it down. What are your new revenue goals for 2023? So step number 4, identify what your revenue goals are for 2023. We just talked about it. Step number 5, create benchmarks and key performance indicators to reach those goals. So that's number 1 through 5. Now, part number 3, that's going to have steps 6, 7, 8, and 9. So part number 3 is, how do you triple your revenues? That's the big question. How do you triple your revenues? So I talk about this all the time. Step number 6, guys, create a true lead generation system that consistently generates leads daily. Create a true lead generation system that consistently generates leads daily. So this is how you're going to triple your revenues, guys. So I always say no leads equals no sales equals no business. And so the only way to scale your business is to consistently generate qualified leads, not BS leads, qualified leads, right? The biggest reason most companies can't scale is because your lead generation system doesn't work, or you don't have one. So based on your business, you're going to have a different type of lead generation system. You're going to have different type of leads. So you need to have a lead generation system that consistently generates qualified leads. What is a qualified lead? A qualified lead is a lead where somebody raises their hand and they have an interest in your product and or service. And I'm not going to get too deep into this. And you can do this by creating lead magnets and other ways to generate incoming calls or incoming responses. But I'm going to give you two examples. Example number one. So say you sell insurance and you want pre-qualified people to raise their hands that are ready, willing, and able to purchase your product or service. Okay. Your system could be a free automated life insurance quote. You see it all the time. Okay. So once again, you can get a free quote. You're going to have to put in your name, your information, contact information, and that is a lead. That is part of a lead generation system. So if you're selling life insurance or something like that, that's a great example. Another example, and this is a personal example, if you sell a mortgage, you can have a free mini book about how to get mortgage ready as a first-time home buyer. And that's what we did when I had my mortgage business. We had a book called Get Mortgage Ready. And people that were first-time home buyers would order the book, and then they would look at it. And inside the book, basically, I was pre-framing how our process worked, what you need to do to get mortgage ready, and how our company could help you. So people would order the book, and now they're in our lead generation system. So step number 6, create a true lead generation system that consistently generates leads daily, on a daily basis. Okay. It could be a telephone, telemarketing operation. It could be whatever. So you just need to have a real lead generation system. If you don't have enough people to sell to, you're not going to be making enough money. Step number 7, create a sales system. Now, after you generate your leads, you must have a system in place to convert those leads into sales. So this system is going to look different for different types of businesses, different types of products or services. So you may need live salespeople, right? So if you're selling, just say you're selling life insurance and people want to talk to a live person, you may need live sales agents, right? Or you may be able to use an automated system. But your sales system could also be an automated email campaign that moves your leads along via emails, videos, tutorials, case studies, or other content to familiarize your prospect with the benefits of your product or service. So number 6, you're going to need a lead generation system. And number 7, you're going to need to create a sales system. And this system converts the leads into sales. Okay, people forget about that. Just because you get somebody to raise their hand doesn't mean that they're ready, willing, and able to purchase at that time. So in order to be that somebody that's ready to go, you're ready, you're willing, and you have the ability to purchase your product or service. So 6 is create a true lead generation system that generates leads daily. 7 is create a sales system. Number 8, create a fulfillment system to fulfill your product or service. So you generated the leads with step 6. You sold them with step 7. And number 8, now you have to fulfill on that sale. So after you convert your leads into sales, now you have to deliver the product and or service. So if you sell furniture, right? You got a furniture store. You got to deliver that furniture. So you have to have a fulfillment system. You might have to hire independent contractors or truckers, or you may have your own to deliver that furniture. Okay. So you're going to need a fulfillment system. If it's a physical product, it could be a fulfillment system like Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, or you can have an outside fulfillment house that'll pick, pack, and ship your products. Now, I do both. So for my physical products, I have Amazon FBA for the stuff I sell on Amazon. But for some of my other products, I have outside fulfillment house. When I get an order, it automatically goes there, and that fulfillment house will pick, pack, and ship that product out to the customer. So I don't have to do any orders personally. But when I started, though, I used to handle my own orders in-house. So if I'm only getting 2 to 3 orders a day, then that's something that I could do at the time. But as you continue to scale, that's why systems are so important. So create a fulfillment system. So if you sell a digital product, your fulfillment system could be as simple as creating a download link. Okay. If you sell a service like consulting, you may need to create a fulfillment process for your service, such as a scheduling application like Calendly or something like that, to set up your consulting appointments. And remember, guys, there's only 6 types of things that you can sell: your physical products, your digital products, and your services. Somebody else's physical products, somebody else's digital products, and somebody else's services. So that's tip number 8, or step 8, create a fulfillment system to fulfill your product or service orders. Now, tip number 9, or step number 9, create ancillary products or services to increase your revenues. And remember, we're talking about how to triple your revenues. So 6, 7, and 8 and 9 are how to triple your revenues. Number 9, create ancillary products or services to increase revenues. So this concept will allow you to increase your average order size by providing ancillary products or services that align with your primary product or service. Okay, here's a real life example. When I had my mortgage business, I created a credit repair business to help my mortgage customers who weren't quite mortgage ready to get a mortgage. So I made additional revenues by charging them for their credit repair, and then I moved them along my sales system. Okay, I took a lead that wasn't quite ready to buy yet, put them in my sales system, and then I got them mortgage ready. And when they became mortgage ready, when their credit was ready, then I put them in a mortgage and I made a commission on the mortgage loan. That's an ancillary product or service that increased my revenues. It made sense. It aligned with what I'm doing. So at first, we were sending them out to this credit repair company that really wasn't doing a good job. They weren't staying in touch with my customers, and it got to the point where it was real hectic. So what my partners and I decided to do was, you know what? We work with credit all day, every day. You know, I've cleaned up my own credit, my family members' credit, friends, and all of that. So have my business partners. And so we trained a couple of people, and we had our own credit company inside our mortgage business. We had like 10 people there. So that became an ancillary product or service to increase our revenues. And it just made sense. Okay, so here's some tips on how to create ancillary products or services to increase your revenues. So look at what you're currently offering and see if there's a product or service that you can align with that aligns with your main product or your main service. Okay. Also, what additional things do your customers ask you for and that you can provide them, right? So, for example, I know a CPA that actually sells investments and insurance because he has all the information about their finances. So when people come in and they do their taxes and they may get a rollover or they get a lump sum of money or have extra money sitting around, what he decided to do was he said, you know what, I'm going to get my securities and insurance license. And since they trust me with their finances, let me make an additional revenue stream or ancillary revenue by selling them mutual funds or insurance products. Okay. Now, another thing that you could do in the mortgage business, we thought about this, but we didn't do it. Years ago, when I was a stockbroker at Merrill Lynch, I had my securities licenses, I had insurance licenses, and commodities, my commodities Series 3 license. And so one of the things that we used to get approached with all the time were insurance salespeople that sold what they call, quote unquote, mortgage protection. And mortgage protection really is just a term policy for the value of your mortgage. So say you got a $500,000 mortgage, we just got you a new loan. And what these insurance guys would say, hey, you just got a loan from J. Jones. You know, this is one of your biggest investments. We want to help protect that investment in case something happens to you or your spouse or partner or whatever. So if something happens to you, we want to create or we want to give you mortgage protection, which again, all it is term life insurance. So if something happens to you and you say your spouse dies or the breadwinner dies 3 months into this new mortgage, then once this mortgage protection kicks in, you'll get the check for $500,000, and now you can pay off the mortgage. So this is something you don't have to worry about. So we used to get approached all the time with these insurance guys, and so that's another ancillary product. Okay, so another tip when you want to create ancillary products or service to increase revenues is if there's another business that makes sense to collaborate with, right? So if you sell alarm systems, if you're an ADT sales rep or dealer or whatever, you may want to collaborate with real estate agents and trade business. So a real estate agent is selling homes, right? So you have a couple moving into a new neighborhood and they may not have an alarm system, or they may have an outdated alarm system in that home. So you collaborate with that real estate agent and you switch leads. Or we called it bird dogging back in the day. We would pay the real estate agent every time he referred somebody that got an alarm system. So we pay him like $150, $200 just by referring people that he or she is dealing with. So create ancillary products or services to increase revenues. And so these are the 9 steps or 9 tips, guys, to help you triple your income in 2023. And once again, they're broken down into 3 phases. Where's your business currently? What are your new revenue and profitability goals for 2023? And how do you triple your revenues? Okay. And those are the 9 tips. Make sure, if you can't write this down, make sure you go to the website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. You can get the show notes, and everything I just talked about will be in the show notes. It comes out every Monday and Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get to the website and utilize the website. Now, before I wrap everything up and do the last quarter of the show, let me just share my social media contact information and resource links. And I'm going to keep it super short and simple. Anything you need to know, all my online courses, Brand Builder Academy Elite, BEBacademy.com, Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. Everything is on the website. We spent a lot of time and resources to rebuild BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com. We want that website to be the go-to resource for Black entrepreneurs. We have resources on marketing, sales, scaling your business, mindset and strategy, e-commerce, everything that you need. You can find on the website. My books, my online courses, the whole BEB ecosystem. So go to BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com. You'll have everything with my books. You'll have the online courses, Be Smart, Buy Black, Hire Black freelancers. All of that good stuff is there. Now, if you need to connect with me, anything long, hit me on my email, jjones@BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com, JAYJONES @BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Twitter, JJones001, Instagram, I got 2 IG accounts, JJones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint and subscribe. Remember, Jay's Gems are videos that come out on the YouTube channel, and they also come out in audio on the podcast. But they're going to be coming out, every couple of weeks. They're going to probably come out once a week. And these are short versions of the podcast when I talk about topical issues, Black economics or Black entrepreneurship. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. LinkedIn, connect with me there, J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Clubhouse, I'm not really on there, but I'm on there. So I am J Jones. So make sure you connect with me there. So just wrapping up what we were talking about today, guys. And we talked about how to triple your income for 2023. There's a system to this, guys. That just doesn't happen. And that's why you always have to but you always have to make sure that you plan. Many times as entrepreneurs, we just go along to get along because we're so busy and we don't take the time to strategically plan. We're working in the business and not on the business, as the E-Myth says by Michael Gerber. That's why I want to talk about 3xmastermind.com real quick. It's a systemized way, guys, to help you exponentially grow and scale your business by 3x or more. And this is something that I do every year, and I've been super successful throughout my entrepreneurial career. Yes, I've almost lost it all twice, but that's par for the course. But once I learned certain things, I've implemented them and I've used them to continue to grow all of my businesses. And I've had over 17 businesses in my 25 plus years as an entrepreneur. And right now I'm running 3 different businesses. And, I have some little side businesses along the way. So I'm not telling you something just to tell you something. I want to show you exactly what I do. So go to 3xmastermind.com, the number 3xmastermind.com. And once again, we're only going to do this for a minimum of 5 people, maximum of 10 people. So make sure that you're one of the first to sign up. And once again, if you miss one of these sessions, we have the recording for you and you'll have access to the recordings. You'll also have access to me. And the beauty about this is, guys, you're going to be in there with cohorts and other people, not just myself, that are going to help you craft and create a plan, a blueprint for 2023 to help grow and exponentially build your business. And I think a lot of times when we work as solopreneurs, or we don't have that camaraderie or that family, the synergy. I've run mastermind groups before, and the synergies in these groups are crazy. A lot of the people in the mastermind groups are still friends and they still work with each other, bounce things off of each other. So definitely take advantage of it. 3xmastermind.com. Once again, it's focusing on strategies, practical things that you can do to build your business. It gives you a different way to look at your business, because once again, you need to know your numbers. Where are you, where you're going, and how do you get there? That's really what we're talking about in 3xmastermind.com. Where you currently are, where you want to go, and how do you get there? And that's the key. That's the key, guys. We're going to be focusing in on lead generation systems, a sales system, a fulfillment system, and ancillary products or services. So a lot of the stuff I talked about today, we're going to use as a framework for the 3xmastermind.com. And once again, it's something that I've used and I use it all the time. I wish you guys could see some of my notes. So every year I use notebooks. So every year I have a game plan notebook. 2022, I had a game plan notebook. 2023, I've already started that game plan notebook. And these are businesses I want to focus on, different ideas I want to focus on, and obviously growing my business. And guess what? Also paring down my business. Sometimes you find that, you know what? This isn't really what I want to do. I got caught up. And I know a lot of you guys probably have that entrepreneur ADD too, because we see something and then we start to chase it, right? But you got to sometimes pull yourself back and focus on what you're really destined or designed to do. And so what I've done this year is I really pulled back on a lot of time sucking or time consuming things so I can focus on what's important. So 3xmastermind.com is going to give you a blueprint. When you leave there, a customized blueprint of what to do to triple your revenues in 2023. Also, in addition to that, guys, it's not just about revenues. It's about profitability. Where's your most profitable products or services? Where are you making the money? Where do you think you're making the money? So we're going to be breaking all of that down. So if you're interested, and I know it's the holiday season, but like I always tell people, I say, while other people are sleeping, I'm working. Now, I don't work 24/7, but if you go down in my basement, in my workout area, when my kids were little, I still have the signs up. While your friends are out there playing, you need to be working. You want to work and be the top field hockey player on your team and in the conference or whatever, then you need to put the work in. And so while everybody else is chilling, I'm putting work in. And it's so crazy because I was talking to one of my boys and he was like, yeah, man, I'm ready to slow down. And I get it. It's the end of the year. So I use that slowdown by everybody else not working, and I use it to focus on my business. So between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's a big time for me. Everybody's slowing down, and that's cool. That means I don't have to answer as many emails. I don't have to do as much stuff. So now I can focus on me. Kind of like what I was doing in the pandemic. While everybody else is like, oh man, not everybody, but a lot of people, man, I can't do nothing. Nothing's going on. Work on the stuff behind the scenes. Work on the levers in your business that are gonna close big doors, lift big boulders. So when everybody else slows down, you, the alpha entrepreneur, is going to be working hard. Now, so I'm gonna enjoy Thanksgiving. I'm going to enjoy that week of Thanksgiving. The whole week I'm probably going to take off. I'm going to enjoy that week of Christmas and New Year. I'm going to probably take off, not totally, but I'm bringing it all down, slowing it down. But in between that time, while everybody else has got their mind on the holidays and chilling, I'm in here focusing, preparing for 2023. So when January 2nd, 2023 hits, I'm coming out of the box strong. And that's what I want you guys to do. Come out of the box strong. A lot of times successful entrepreneurs swim upstream, against the stream, against the current. A lot of times you'll see monkey see, monkey do. So people in your industry do this, guess what? I'm going to do it. And I'm not saying that's wrong. And a lot of times it may work. But the outliers, the people that break through that ceiling, those are the people that many times swim upstream. So just because everybody else is doing this, that doesn't mean I have to do this. How can I get an edge? How can I get an edge on my competitors? While everybody else is chilling, I'm going to be taking this downtime or this slow down time and focusing on my business so I'm able to come out to shoot January 2nd making sales. I'm already out the blocks while they're over there tying their shoes. And that's what I'm talking about with the 3xmastermind.com. If you're serious about your business and you have those 3 accelerated weeks, and that's why we're doing it at an accelerated pace, that's going to allow you to enjoy the holiday, but come out of the blocks in January smoking. All right. So once again, it's only a $97 investment total. That's it. The first session is Wednesday, November 30th, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The next Wednesday, December 7th, 7:30 to 9:30. And the following Wednesday, December 14th, 7:30 to 9:30. So you're going to have all of that time. You're only talking about the week after Thanksgiving and then the second week in December. So you're going to have all of that time to enjoy Thanksgiving and enjoy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, whatever holiday, if you celebrate at all. But you'll have that time. This is why it's accelerated, and I did it specifically on this dates. So this can allow you to enjoy your family and friends and all of that, but get you prepared to come flying out of the blocks in January of 2023. So if we don't prepare, guys, nothing's going to happen. The same thing is going to happen in 2022 that is going to be happening in 2023 if you don't change it up. Now, before we close it on out, guys, I say this each and every week because it's true. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also, the ecosystem, everything around the podcast, the online courses, BEB Academy, the books, everything like that. And it's all designated to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Also, make sure you utilize the website, family, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Hit the resource button. You'll have all types of resources about marketing, scaling your business, e-commerce, strategy, mindset, all types of resources. We wanted to be the resource for Black entrepreneurs. If you want to connect with me, hit the About page, and all my social media contact information is on there, and anything you need to help build your business. Remember, guys, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.